Welcome to the Strategic Oracle, the transmission space where timing meets soul and wealth begins with the rhythm. Let's begin. Happy new moon. Here it is on November 20th, and it's 1:48 a.m. Eastern Time. And the moon and the sun meet at the 28th degree in Scorpio. So we've got these new moons that are in this new beginning phase right now. And it's at the end of the zodiac in that sign. So I love this juxtaposition because we're ending our time, for the last 30 days in a sign. And yet we've got this newness that then comes in and it says, well, what is a different expression? What is an original way? What is a unique step that you can take, even though you have been conditioned, if you will, in this case, for the last 28 days? This is such a great window into 2026. Now, I say this a lot, that the stars always will give us a window before they give us a door, before they shove us out of a plane. Like, it happens. But with these windows, a lot of times we're not paying attention, but you are, because you're listening to this podcast, you're following the stars, you're really leaning in. So you have the opportunity to take a minute. Now, it's not going to really feel like taking a minute because this is scorpionic energy. And Scorpio is intense and filled with pressure, and the emotions are high. There is really good support. I just don't know if it's masked. Certainly individually, it can feel really good right now. Collectively, probably not so much, because the sun's okay. The sun's kind of benign in Scorpio, and that sounds kind of weird, right? Because the sun is brilliant in the sky. The sun is obvious. The sun is very reliable and very linear. And it's a masculine energy. And then you've got Scorpio, and she's not like that at all. Scorpio is mysterious, and she's unpredictable, and she loves to pull the pin out of the grenade and throw it into the middle of the room and see what happens. She's that, right? And then you get the sun, but honestly, the sun's yeah, you can play your game, Scorpio. I'm the sun. I'm the king of the world, right? So that to me just is the feeling of why the sun doesn't mind being in Scorpio. Now, the sun doesn't like to be in every single sign, but the sun doesn't mind being in Scorpio. Whereas the moon at the outset doesn't make any sense either. The moon does not like being in Scorpio. And you think about it, and you're like, wait a minute. The moon is powerful. The moon is mysterious. The moon is cyclic. The moon, literally moves the tides, right? So she's watery. Then you think of Scorpio. Scorpio is watery. Scorpio is intense. Scorpio is deep. Scorpio is, it feels like Scorpio's emotions. Yet when you look at that through the emotional lens, that's where they're in complete opposition. Because the moon wants those beautiful, nourishing, sustaining, sweet, mothering, nurturing energies. And Scorpio is like, none of that. I don't want any of that. Please. That is so ridiculously weak. This is Scorpio talking. That no, not even a little bit. I can't even believe you're wasting your time with that kind of expression. Because Scorpio wants the deepest, desirous, most passionate, transformative, phoenix-like emotions. She's looking for a storm, and the moon wants a little mist. So that's where they don't really get along, and yet they do talk to each other. And so the talking is just more like it's that game of telephone. And don't worry, because here we have Mercury sitting right on top of the sun and the moon right now, literally at the exact degree. So this is all about communication, and Mercury is retrograde still for another, 9 days. So Mercury's already done his bit. He's already just moved back into Scorpio 2 days before, and now he's with the sun and the moon saying, I am going to illuminate every single emotional communication in relationship with yourself, with the divine, with the earth, and with others. and it's all come to the surface because the sun's right here. Oh, by the way, I'm going to make you yearn because the moon's right here too. Is going to yearn for that nourishment, that support, those sweet whispered nothings, that make you feel so good. Nah, I'm pulling the plug on all of that. And I am going to make you really recognize mentally, so your mind is involved, all the ways that your feelings have been hurt, all the ways that people have been, communicating in ways that don't work for you, all the ways that you've given when it hasn't been received, all the ways that you have lost pieces of yourself. Yeah, because then don't worry. Because don't worry, we've got Uranus exactly opposite. It is 1 degree off, and the good news is super supported by Neptune. Saturn and Jupiter are wildly supportive right now. Yeah, but is it enough? Right? So we've got this magic triangle that's all but formed. And we've got Saturn right there. It doesn't come completely together with Neptune until February, ironically, not ironically, on the 20th, which is exactly 3 months later. However, we've got so many things that are disorienting and destabilizing and epiphany-like and mental blasts and shakeups. So we've got this intense pressure cooker on one side, and we've got this, yeah, but wait a minute, what's super obvious right now? Let's make this lightning bolt of awareness here. Come on, we can do this, and it's not a problem. Why? For your freedom, for your individuality, for you to be true to you and make the right decisions to prioritize yourself in your daily life. I did. I sighed. I want the sigh to stay there. I sighed. It comes up. It's been coming up. If it hasn't been coming up for the 2.5 weeks that Mercury's been retrograde, or a week and a half, it seems like a month at this point. But if it hasn't come up before then, it is coming up now. So we can say, here's our big dream, here's our desire, here's our target, here's our strategy, here's our vision, here's our mission, whatever language you want to use. We've got that. Here are our intentions. Those are the big things. And we can go to a meeting. We can have a brainstorming session. We can have conversations with our team. We can say it out on a podcast. We can have those sound bites and all the things. But what the bleep are you doing every single day? Now, I've shared this before. I'm going to share it again. So in my Rich and Powerful Leaders program, I call it RPL for short, I have to practically pay people to do a 2-minute morning incantation. And yet I've been talking about being in the billionaire rooms, and these people spend between 90 minutes and 120 minutes in the morning really getting their jam on. And then they're super uber focused on what it is, exactly the big swings that they're taking and the big moves that they're making and the big deals that they want to happen. And then after just a few concentrated hours, they're out. Now, that goes exactly with this energy. Why? Because that feels really intense. It feels really focused. It feels really deep. It feels really big. Hello, Scorpio. But then when you look at it, there is this beautiful grace and this beautiful weird shock to the system where, guess what? You're not filling your days with tasks. You're not checking off a to-do list. You're not trying to press 10 actions every single day. You're pressing on something to move that might only be happening once a quarter, once every 4 months, because the moves are that big. This is that. When you are in your big dream and you are looking at your vision and you're setting that big strategy and all the things that are, really high level for yourself, and these are the things that you deeply, deeply, deeply want to become true in your life. And yet on the daily, I'll be honest with you, the moon isn't really asking, this new moon isn't really asking you on the daily. This is me asking you on the daily. This is your soul asking you on the daily. Because there is that Uranian pressure that you're an individual, you can break free of the mundane, you can work your way out of having to deal with those traps that you have gotten yourself into. This is a break for freedom. And we've been getting this call the entire year. And have you made the strides? Because this configuration with this new moon and that big, huge Saturn and Neptune gathering that you can look at like 3 different timelines. You can look at that 30+ year timeline going back to 1989 is the last time that they met. Or you can look at the 165-year timeline, which is the last time Neptune was in Aries. Or you can look at the 9,000-year timeline, which is the last time that these two planets met at a 0 degree in Aries. Wow, big stuff, right? On the heels of that 9-month, 5 planetary, big, huge changes that we had from November 2024 until June of 2025. Actually, technically the first week of July. Big doings. Big doings. This is a window. This is your window to look at the big, huge leap that is happening on February 20th to 2026. Now, there's massive supports in the stars. I've been talking about this. I can't tell you how much blue is on this chart right now. There's massive support. Take note for how you feel right now, because this is going to be an amazing glimmer into how February 20th is going to occur for you. Take note, observe. As I step into the signatures here, go ahead and observe, your signatuремap.com. Find out what your signature is. And for those of you who really, really know, because we've been doing this for years, which has been so luscious, wise strategists, you are actually going to observe without doing. There's no course correction to be made. There's no planning to be doing. There's nothing for you to do, observing how you feel and what's happening around you. Make note, put it in your planner to look at as you're coming up to February, and then we're going to be able to make some reorientation. For you, intuitive visionary, you're going to do some really deep thinking. They're going to be leaning into the pressure and asking for signs and for solutions for you to be able to become the powerhouse that you are. And you know this. For you, collaborative explorer, stand up and take one risky move. Notice how I didn't say make it. I said take it. It's in a conversation, and it's standing up for who you are, or standing up for what you believe in, or something that you desire. For you, ruling warrior, you're going to look at your swing for the fences strategy. Now, you're not going to employ anything for the next week and a half, but you're going to look at it and you're going to take a bigger swing and you're going to plan for it, because the beginning of December, you're going to start really swinging for the fences. Creative superstar, you're going to make plans for a New Year's celebration. I know this seems really bizarre. I went into this twice and it was like, no, for real. This is exactly what you're going to be doing. For you, loving alchemist, you're going to find 2 ways that love and power can work for you without you being in control. And so this is a great opening for everybody. It's just, what are we going to do with it? So let's maximize it. Another thing, good rule of thumb for the rest of this week, is to just mean what you say and say what you mean. Because again, the words really matter, because Mercury's mucking with us. The crystals that have come in are smoky quartz and citrine, and we're going to go ahead and walk into ritual with those crystals. And the smoky quartz always goes with Scorpio. Honestly, the minute I think of Scorpio, I think of smoky quartz and I think of garnet. But in this case, smoky quartz was like, no, it's me. I was like, okay, really super healing, wildly can take all of the tremendous, intense power. And smoky quartz is like, yeah, what else have you got? Which I really adore about that. Super healing energy. And then the citrine is for manifestation. So that citrine has that buoyancy, that creativity, that multitasking, that cleansing, that surface-like, even though citrine is very, very deep, but it has that surface-like accessibility. I love working with these 2 stones together, and they love each other. They are just like, so as we go in, we're going to take a breath. We're going to close our eyes unless you're driving. But regardless, eyes open, eyes closed, you're going to take that beautiful breath and you're going to drink in the moon. You're going to just drink in that scorpionic, deep, deep, deep energy. And we're going to go ahead in our mind's eye. We're going to open up our mind's eye because we're looking for the sight, the awareness, the observation, the recognition. As we go ahead and continue with our breaths, we're going to bring our energy lower through that power center and a diaphragm into our bellies, down through the root chakra, down into the earth, planting these beautiful, luscious seeds of beginning. That 28 is a beginning energy. The new moon is a beginning energy. And from a feeling perspective, with smoky quartz, on our left side, you're going to be looking for the wisdom of things that are occurring that aren't to our liking. And on our right side, with that beautiful masculine energy, we're going to be looking for solutions that are coming that we may not be recognizing, because they're both happening right now. And more recognition we may not be accepting. So that is our intention for this ritual. Our intention is to stand in the beautiful, deep waters of Scorpio with the epiphanies that arise, with an open mind, clear sight, with a wise heart, and a knowing instinct. How are these energies serving in beautiful ways to help me let go and release that which is no longer mine, that which I'm ready to heal? And how are these stars and these crystalline energies and these luminaries and this earthly wonderful support helping me recognize and accept the solutions that are at my fingertips? How am I taking the precise action to make my dreams come true? What window into the future is this moon giving me right now? On the daily, in the mundane, I have evidence all around me. Please open my eyes, show me. Open my heart to receive. Open my will to accept. And then be able to take right action. Now is the time for stillness. Action comes just a moment or two later, in about a week and a half. But the planning can happen in the next day or two. But for now, that smoky quartz is allowing us to go to the depths, allowing us to deeply recognize. And that citrine is helping us to be taking that awareness and saying yes to it for manifestation in ways that have our truth and our yearning and our desires and have our best interests at heart. The planets are conspiring for our success. The magic triangle is here for our quest of freedom, our spiritual awakening, our journey for truth of who we truly are. Those are heady, big, huge energies. So here the moon comes in and says, hey, what's happening today matters. Things that are bubbling up are for you to take heed. So let's go. And as you sit from that moon and drink from the sun, you're gathering the energy to say yes. You're gathering the momentum to help propel you forward. And you're imbuing the power with the color of you and your unique design. And with that, we're going to take a few deep breaths in. The intention of show me. The intention of acceptance and yes for taking action. And with that, we give great gratitude to the sun, the moon, the zodiac, to the earth herself, to the crystalline structures of smoky quartz and citrine, to your signature, to your soul, to your heart, to your mind, to your will. And let us begin. As you open your eyes fully, if you've had them closed, You rub your hands together. You roll your fingers, roll your toes. Take a nice big drink of water, which I'll even do now too. And we're saying welcome to new beginnings, the window into our futures. And until next time, happy new moon and happy soul tidings. And if you haven't joined the invitation for the December 4th opening of the 2026 energies, go to the show notes and do so now. You have a beautiful coupon there that you can gain free access because we're only inviting those who follow. We're only inviting those who say yes to the yes to the yes. And now, happy soul tidings and happy future. You've been listening to the Strategic Oracle, where success isn't scaled from speed, but from soul. If this stirred something real, follow it. Apply for activation, enter the vault, or pause right here. Integration is leadership too. Because the truth is, you were never meant to chase the timing. You are meant to become it.